Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow my YouTube and Instagram pages. And a special thanks to FBB Forum fans for helping me reach 4,000 followers today. You guys are awesome, so I was really pleased with that. I'm very pleased to welcome back the amazing IFBB women's physique competitor, Toni McMurtre, to the podcast for a brief
Hello.
follow-up interview. Hi, Toni.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you. Toni last spoke with me last year in June, so it's been almost a year. And she last competed at the 2023 Optimum Classic in Shreveport and looked fantastic there. Toni also owns a gym called Strouds Fitness in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yeah, that's the logo right there too. Oh, and she has 4 kids, which is kind of amazing. I'm always impressed with the muscle mamas. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm really pleased to have you back again, though, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I love your content, follow you all the time. I know a lot of the girls that you cover, so it's great to see it. It's fun.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yeah, I've gotten some really good feedback. I was really pleased just the feedback I got when I was at the Triple O that people recognized me, and some of them thought I was Dan Ray, the photographer, though. So I thought that was kind of
Oh,
fun.
that's great. I know, Dan. That's funny. That's funny.
And
So
if
you
I
got
could,
let backstage, yeah.
well, I know if I'd had a fancy camera, I could have like run with that, but I didn't
The
have one.
press.
So
That's funny. That's funny.
I could get a fake fancy camera. But,
That's
um,
great.
Now, you mentioned to me earlier that you plan on competing again this year. And so what's your plan for this year? Can you say?
Yeah, I'm absolutely aiming for Fort Walton right now. The week before that is the Texas Pro, and I'm thinking about throwing that at my trainer because it's in my backyard. I mean, I'll be there regardless whether I'm on the stage or in the audience. So it's kind of a nice, hey, you're here. It's great price to do it because you don't need the hotel, you don't need the car, you don't need the flight, where other shows can just kind of get more expensive. And then
Mhm.
Fort Walton, because it's on Fort Walton Beach. How fun is that? It's a little Masters Pro show. And then later this season, thinking about doing Fort Lauderdale in November.
That's terrific. Yeah, those are really good shows. Does for Texas Pro, does the Strouds ever like sponsor there or have a table set up or
You
anything?
know what's funny is I have not I need to just throw that at my partners and be like, hey guys, let's pay for my stuff this year. But I have not. I have not. I'm like, we need a new nursery floor. Yeah. So I don't even think about it.
Oh, I understand. No, that's cool.
I could see our accountant being like, why are we suddenly paying for Tony's stuff? I'm like, because.
Yeah, you're representing the company, yeah. Do y'all ever have like pros come through when you have Texas Pro going on?
Oh, absolutely. And we had nationals here this year. So we had great traffic through. And yes, I mean when they do Dallas Europa, which it is not Europa anymore, it is like the Dallas Pro. Um, we get a lot that come and they'll do shoots afterward there, which is nice. Always nice to
Oh,
see pros in there. It's great.
that's terrific. Yeah. No, I'm actually irritated with nationals personally because they used to be in Orlando and it was convenient.
Yes. But they've
So,
been in Orlando forever, man. I mean, I did nationals in like 2011 when they've been there forever. The last time it was in Dallas was like a one. I
oh,
mean, so for me, we are in the middle of the continental United States. We are where they need to be. Um,
yeah.
we've got a big enough city to be able to handle it. And with Uber and Lyft, it used to be, oh, we don't have mass transit. And I'm like, okay, because you can get around Miami pretty good. I didn't have a car, and I just kind of walked and took the bus, and it was easy. Where
Yeah,
Dallas, they say it's not as easy, but I feel like we're getting there. I feel like it's will be easier, and so they had it last year, and huge success.
that's great. Yeah, I would travel to Texas for that because it's always an excellent show. Definitely one of the best
Yes, it is
pro
the show. Yeah,
it is.
the
Yeah.
Nationals.
It is, yeah, exactly. And I remember back in the day when it was on TV and that was
Yeah.
the national show back then. So um now I was curious for you mentioned Fort Walton, but are you planning on doing open or masters at the different shows or are you doing both?
So Fort Walton, I believe, is just Masters, and Texas Pro, I believe, is just Open.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. So I'd love doing both because I feel like I'm kind of fighting my way through Open, just kind of itching that up. I think it's funny because you hear of this like tying for 15th or tied for 16th with like 17 other girls. And you're like, oh my God. And then I placed 15th and I was like, holy crap, I beat 15 people. Like it's this funny kind of like working your way down and then, getting 10th, cracking the top 10. You're like, oh my God. Where
Yeah.
masters, I just do better. I'll crack top 6 every time I do masters. So that's nice, kind of keeps my soul afloat a little bit where
Yeah.
I want open and I know it just takes time and season and where masters you kind of go, okay, I'm not going crazy. you
Oh
know,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You bust your ass for 16 weeks to tie for last, you're like, wow, okay. So it's nice. And then last year, I got 10th in at the OCC. So it's nice working up is nice.
That's true. Yeah, that was great. You were top 10. I think your best placing, I think, was 6th at Tampa Pro. Is that right?
No, I did 6th at Tampa, and then I got 5th at Optimum in I think 21, and then 5th or 4th in Fort Lauderdale.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Masters.
cool.
I was open. Again, open. I'm like cheering for. Man, opens tough. They're thicker, lot bigger. I don't want to say bigger. I don't know how to. They're. It's just it's a different body. Gets rewarded a little differently for masters.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Oh yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah. Oh, open, you're like, wow, that is wow. Everyone's super impressive. Everyone's impressive anywhere. Any pro stage, you're just like blown away. Every time I compete, I'm kind of blown away a little bit more at the caliber of athlete.
Yeah, the ladies are very impressive. Yeah, and that's already been a good season, I think, so far. So um now I noticed that you had only competed at Shreveport last year, but did you hope to compete in more than one show last year?
I did in the beginning of the season, and then I had 2 kids leave for college, and life kind of became the priority. Off season, definitely, because I need size. I need back. I've got more developed legs than I have an upper body, so I've got to balance that out. And so it was nice to kind of to not be forced into off season because I wasn't forced, but I wanted to be able to go to a football game. I wanted to be able to go to parents' weekend and not, oh my God, I want to be able to eat at a restaurant and not be totally panicked. Can I see you pull up nutrition everywhere you go? So I kind of wanted that to kind of back down, and I'm still grinding, I'm still working, but to have that kind of freedom in the fall was nice.
Yeah, I
But I'm
totally.
ready. Oh my God. I'm like, I'm so ready to to be ready to do something right now.
Sure, I totally understand that, and I have a daughter who's going off to college, so I can definitely relate to that because that's a lot of work just to get them going and get them over there, and you know,
Yes.
being like a little bit more empty nest type thing too. So
Oh, I tell you that'll happen someday. That'll not soon, but that'll happen.
yeah,
I
you
got my
said
last one graduating next year, so we will see.
yeah, that's true. um, Now I was curious, how was business going with your gym with Strouds Fitness?
Going great. As a matter of fact, I just left. That's why I was late. I was like, man, we are pounded right now. I always
Yeah.
laugh that because people go, oh, do you guys get really busy in January? And I'm like, we're not really that gym that gets busy in January, but the first nice day, yeah, we get busy. Or when people put shorts on and they're like, oh my God, then we get busy. But we've got a lot of competitive bodybuilders and power lifters and normal human beings, and we've got cheerleaders and we've got gymnasts. So it's pretty fun. We've got a huge MMA, huge dojo that's run by Justin Patterson. It's just fantastic. So business is great. Thank you for asking. It's great.
That's terrific. That's cool about MMA. You'll have some competitors that are doing well?
We do, it's again, it's neat. Justin's a pro fighter, and he fought this year, earlier in this year. It's neat to have. I'll laugh because I coach cheer, and I'm coaching in private cheer, so I coach like big tumbling and things like that. And I'll be in the aerobic room, and across the gym, I can hear them hitting the bags. It kind of fires you up. It's nice.
That's cool. Wow. Yeah, those guys are pretty impressive. And they're in good shape too, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. Different good shape.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like it's funny kind of looking at the bodybuilders training versus how the power lifters train versus how the fighters train. You're like, what sport are you training for?
Uh-huh. That's true. That is very different.
Very
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
And to have them all under the one roof too is kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, and I was curious, in terms of either at your gym or that you've been following, any kind of standout competitors in bodybuilding that you'd like to shout out?
I got a Mayla Ash. She looks great. Every year you always think, wow, that's the best she's gonna look. And then you see her the next year and you're like, oh my God. She's great. She's that X. Again, I'm a fan. She's my trainer. So I might be a little biased, but just when you see her, it's the most impressive physique. It is really great. And then
Yeah,
I seen Joe Mackey a lot this year, and he is big and beautiful. Body is his just physique is insane. He's so big. He's
really,
like 6'2", 6'3". So you stand next to him and talk to him, you're like, oh, you're such a large human.
really,
But
wow,
we've got a lot of pros. I actually was looking the other day and I'm like, we have a lot of pros that are just in here, um, that work out there, that train clients there. I see Johnny Jackson every day.
wow.
And it's just neat. It's such a cool environment to be in.
Yeah, Dallas does seem to have a really good bodybuilding community for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because not everybody gets it. It's a strange little sport. So, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's true. I was curious if you met the Bad Rap ladies yet, because they've been pretty busy. They're there in Texas as well, but the
You know what? I don't like unless I'm going to another gym for a reason. Like I've been out to destination a couple of times. I typically don't because I'll squeeze my training in between my clients. So
okay,
if I'm not booked at 10, I'm going to train at 10. I'm not going to drive somewhere, and it's just easier in my life to train at Strouds again. Convenient. Sometimes it's not because sometimes it's, oh, she's right there. I'm like, shit, I'm right here. You can come ask me any questions. So
oh
it's
yeah,
sometimes it's not easy.
oh, but I was thinking about in terms of Bad Rap, the clothing company and that's supporting the ladies. It's Eunice
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
Jolene.
Yeah. Oh, no, I have heard and I've seen, but I have not touched.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was just curious since they're both in Texas as
Oh,
well.
I didn't
But
know that. That's exciting. Cool.
yeah, and they really kind of took off after Triple O Dynasty. I've been trying to promote them too, but
Oh, yay.
because they put the profits back into supporting the athletes with
That's great.
expenses. So I really like them a lot. I think they do a really good job, I think.
Oh, good
So
luck to them. That's wonderful.
yeah, yeah, thank you. Now, I was curious with your personal training business, are you still accepting clients or how are
Oh,
you doing?
yep, I do. I train morning. I mean, I'd train all day. I'd love to train 9 to 5, but typically I'm there like 9 to 1 and then go back around 4 and go 4 to 8 again, just depending on the load in the summer. I like to slide a lot of those athletes to the morning, but absolutely always accepting new clients because clients are funny. Like life evolves. So, you'll have a set and then, someone will have surgery. And so they'll be out a minute. And the 6 weeks that they're out, someone else will slide in and out of that spot. It's funny. Training is this ever growing kind of creature, and some years you'll have a ton of clients and sometimes you'll look up and you'll, be down to 10 and you're like, okay. And it's just funny. The wave of it, like during COVID, it was crazy because the gym was closed. We weren't in there. And I moved my training to my house and I did tumbling out of my garage and I had my clients training in my garage. I've got a setup down there and it worked out great. I loved it. I loved it. I was like, I'm gonna get some coffee and roam downstairs. So it was great. But when my partners and I decided to buy the gym, it was like, I guess I gotta go back. I guess I gotta go back to
Uh,
the gym.
oh yeah, I think it's good to get back to the gym, definitely. Yeah. Um, with your training clients, do you work with just in person or do you work with them on Zoom too?
I do not do Zoom and online. I feel like I am hectic enough. Again, having bodybuilding itself is large, and then to have a large life on top of it, and to have a big family, and to be at my kids' production of Mamma Mia, and to be at the track meet watching pole vault, and to be at the football game watching. And now that I've got 3 of them out of high school, it's slowed down, but it's still a little crazy right now.
Hmm,
So I don't do online. It's just, but I have friends that do, and I know great trainers that I can send you to. But I do not. I don't need anything to. And no, I do not. Short answer.
sure, totally I understand
Too
that.
much other shit. Yeah.
Yeah, totally I understand that. No problem. Um, Now tell me about your cheer coaching business. How long have you been doing that?
Oh, God bless America, forever. Over 20 years. I'm a private cheer coach. So for tryouts, typically you get material and I help you with that material, and then I help you with your tumbling. I coach. And so if you've got a squad, I've been hired by schools and I go in and we'll do kind of pep rally choreography. But haven't done, I have not gone to a school in a few since before COVID. And now I'm more of a private coach where you have your list of things that you have to get done and we get them done. So we get your running, tumbling done and your jumps and your strength work. So that way you're good enough to make the team.
Wow, that's great. That's really
It's
cool that you
fun.
do that too. Yeah.
It is fun. It's fun. It's evolved over the years where my first year, I think I had 3 girls and I've had upwards of 100 girls and they blow through in about 12 weeks. So it's this like mad January through March. And then the dust kind of settles after spring break. And then I get away from them over the summer. They go to camp and then they come back and football starts and it just kind of starts all over again. So it's fun. There are times of the year that I'm there 7 days a week. And then there are times that I'm not. So I'll make that trade. It's fun.
Wow. Have any of your cheer clients ever gone on to do bodybuilding? I'm just curious.
Not yet, although I've had a couple threaten to, and they'll pull up, and it's funny. Um, where I could see them doing it. I've had a son's girlfriend currently competes in bikini and has competed a few times through the Texas NPC.
Really?
Got
That's great.
and it just neat, so fun to watch. It's fun to, I mean, they've been together for like 6 years, so it's so funny to see this. I would never thought that bodybuilding would be the sport that they would do. It's a lot of fun. I've got one son and his girlfriend that bodybuild. It's crazy. It's watching it from scratch, like grow. It's very cool.
That's great. Which division does your son do?
Classic.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Bumstead. Everybody loves Bum.
Oh, I know. I didn't realize until recently how popular he is in the general public. It's
Oh,
like,
good
wow.
grief.
Yeah.
He's got like 20 million followers. I mean, like
Really?
Mr. Olympia has like 3 million. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, he is Mr. Olympia. He's Mr. Olympia many times, but you know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
numbers to put that into perspective, you're like, wow, you have 20 million followers. Very awesome.
That's
Not
amazing.
that
Yeah.
means anything. You know what I'm saying? Again, perspective of how popular he is.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, it really
Mhm.
is. And he has a great look. He seems like a good guy too.
He's a right. I'm like, he's a great guy. And he's level. He's a great guy. You know, you watch interviews and you watch him. He's a great athlete, great
Yeah,
advocate for the sport.
that's great. Yeah, very cool. I was just curious, in terms of how's your husband doing?
He's doing awesome. He looks great. I chuckle because we'll do stuff like I went to Miami one year or Tampa, did the Tampa Pro, and we are in the elevator, and one of the open male pros gets in, looks at my husband, and he goes, "You competing this weekend?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, um, so he looks great. He's incredibly fit and hot and sexy.
That's great. Is he going to compete, do you think, or doesn't
You
compete?
know what? I'd love him to. I don't know. He's threatened to through the years, and especially having a kid doing it. It's such a funny, but I think like the shred down portion would, he likes size. I think the shred down portion would not be good for him.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Maybe get hangry and stuff.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm losing weight. Where I'm like, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. Yeah. It's funny, totally different animal.
Yeah, that's true. That's very cool. Um, I just had one more question about Triple O Dynasty. Did you get a chance to see that? Because that was a great show, and I got to
I
experience
know it
that.
was awesome. Oh, I wanted to do it so bad. Again, life is funny right now. You can't just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yes, it looked awesome. So everything I could see, absolutely dove into it. It looked like it was a great comp, and all the girls looked great. Women's physique and figure and bodybuilding. Good show, ladies. Good show.
It
And
was. Yeah,
it looked like that they really did it with great class, and they sent that they got jackets for the girls with their names on it. I mean, just good swag.
yeah, the swag was good. The just good vibes. Just everybody
Yes, positive
really.
energy.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, well, it was very positive and seemed like it was really well run. It was on time and and very just um looking out for the athlete's needs. So I
Yes.
was really impressed with that. So yeah, I thought it was great. I hope maybe you can compete there next year. That'd be
Yes,
cool.
I'm gonna do it. Seriously. I want to do on, I think it's funny because you like Bam Bam, but it's again, life is funny. Like I do when I can. Um, that's again, that's why I think I'm like looking at Texas and going, it's here. Price wise, I just think it's and I love competition. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I mean, it's like getting on Olympia stage. You're like, oh my God, Texas Pro. Um, it is a big bad show. So it's kind of a oof, like just, I guess the caliber of athlete that walks across that thing is pretty impressive. I did Tampa Pro one year, and the next week was Texas, and I kind of tossed around doing it because I did it in I think 21, or maybe 22. I think I did anyway, whatever. And it was wild just to see the girls. You're like, holy shit.
Wow.
so so what is it when your idols become your rivals, right? It's interesting. So, what was the
Yeah.
question? I totally just went off onto a rant. What are we talking about?
Oh no, just talking about Triple O Dynasty and stuff. But I just thought it was a great show. Yeah, I could see you competing there next year, maybe if you're
Would love to do it.
able.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, for that, just to be in that environment would absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, one thing I liked about it too, and I thought the ladies liked it was there was no morning prejudging and then evening finals. So it was just kind of back to back. And
That is nice. That
do you
is nice
prefer
that you
that?
don't have to like hold your shit together in between or wonder how it's going to go down. That's nice. Just kind of,
I was curious if you preferred that though at a show.
I have done that format. I like it as well. I've done the normal like prejudging and then night show, and then I've done the 2 day show. Woo! Um, and then prejudging and finals at the same. I think it depends on how efficient the show is run, because
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, shit, you may as well just let us go.
Yeah.
So if it rolls and you're like, okay, you're up, you're up, you're up. Okay, ladies, you're back up. But if you're like, okay, go hang out, I'm like, shit, you may as well just set us free and let us come back. You know what I
hmm
mean? I
Yeah.
do like it though. Again, if it rolls, let's go because it's one and done, and it's not lingering. It's an abusive little sport we got here. So it's
Yeah.
funny and we're much better time wise. Like they'll hold to us where they say, hey, ladies, you're going to go on. We're going on within 30, we're going on pretty close to that, where NPC sometimes you'll look over and you're like, oh my goodness, like just because you didn't expect either the competition to be so close or just for it just moves slower, just shit happens. And you see some of these athletes just rotting and you're like, oh my God, bring food in your bag. Be prepared.
Yeah, you're right. I do find NPC shows sometimes can just go on for a long, long time,
Yes.
and if you're there to see the pros, it's like kind of twiddle
They
thumbs.
won't let the pros linger sometimes. Like they'll get us on and off, where you're not like, what day is it? you know.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. No. Well, thank you so much, Tony. It was really nice speaking with you.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything I missed that you would like to address to the audience?
Not that I can think of right now. I feel like my days, I meant to leave the gym and then I wound up leaving early and I was like frantically driving down the road, texting you. I'm like, I'm sorry. So my brain is like
Oh
that,
no.
like, nope, I cannot think of anything. But I will the next time. How's that? I'll have a list of questions for you next time.
Oh, sure. Okay, cool. And would you mind doing a quick flex for me too?
Not at all. Not at all. Yay.
Thank
Gotta
you so
stand.
much. Wow, you look great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you definitely
It'll be
look
a
like
great year.
compete soon. Oh, I think so too. Yeah, you're going to do great.
Thank
I'll
you.
definitely be rooting for you.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate your support. You are awesome. You are awesome for this sport. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. And I want to point out your shirt too. You
My
got the,
Strouds and my
yeah,
backwards. Yeah.
Strouds.
I'm like,
Thank you so much, Tony.
thanks, Dave. Take care.
Take care.